guys, and welcome to another vlog. Now, last time I said I was going to talk about the Disney College program, and I guarantee you that's what I'm going to do. But first of all, I would like to apologize for being in my pajamas. I've had kind of a trying day. I went for my exercising this morning, and I locked myself out of the house for 3 hours in 30-degree weather. So it's been a very lazy day, lounging around in my pajamas all day, and I didn't feel like dressing up for you guys, so I apologize for that. But, anyways, so, the Disney College program. I guess I'll just kind of start from the beginning. This isn't rehearsed or anything, so I'm just going to kind of say things as I remember them. But, so, I applied February of 2012. And the process is usually about 4 to 6 weeks. You go online once applications have opened, you apply, you do the whole ethics questionnaire and all that kind of stuff, previous work experience and whatnot, and if they are okay with all of that, they give you the ethics questionnaire, and then if they're okay with that, they schedule the phone interview, which is like the biggest part because you talk with the actual representative from Disney and you get to talk about what you'd like to do, you know, why you're applying for the college program and all that sort of stuff. And they usually give you about 4 to 6 weeks after the phone interview to find out whether or not you've been accepted. I found out after like a week, and I was accepted into merchandise. They don't tell you where. They just say either Disneyland or Disney World, and then what role you'll be performing. You don't find out where you'll be working until you actually get on site. But so I found out in February, and June 11th was my move-in day that year. So I was able to finish up my school semester. I was home for a week or two, I think, and then flew off to Florida. But so you get there, and registration is early in the morning. Once you get there, you have to go to Vista Way. Maybe that sounds wrong, but yeah, it is Vista Way. I did remember, but Vista Way is the main area. They have like 4 different housing areas. They have Chatham Square, Patterson, Vista Way, and I can't remember the other one, I'm sorry. But there's those 4, but Vista Way is the main one, and that's where you register on your very first day. And they give you this handy little book. It's your program guide. See, 2012, that's when I did it. They give you this program book, and it has all kinds of stuff in it. Important numbers, the Commons, that was the other one. There's Chatham Square, Vista Way, the Commons, and then Patterson Court. And Chatham Square is where I lived, and we actually had the biggest apartment, which was for 8 people. But there are some, I believe, that are maybe as little as 2, but most of them are 4 people. But so, and as far as roommates go, you can, once you find out that you're in it, you can post on Facebook. You can do what I did. I made a post on Tumblr about it. There was some DCP roommate application form going around that you could go out and you could fill out and then put it in the tags and someone could find you. And that's how I found my roommate. And there were 4 of us that were going to room together. And by the time that we registered, there was no more 4 people apartments. So we had to meet up with 4 complete strangers. But we all became pretty close while we were all there. And so anyways, now that I've backtracked a little bit, so they give you this once you're registered for your apartments and everything, and they give you a few other goodies like laundry detergent, a little I may have it right here in my purse, but just kind of stuff that you'll need to use, first aid kit, that kind of stuff, laundry detergent, some snacks, and it's all in a little recyclable bag like they have at Walmart. And they send you on a bus to casting, which is where you find out what you're going to work in. And the back came off of mine, but there's this little form on the back cover, and they call out your name and they give you a sticker, and that's where you're going to work. And I was not too thrilled with mine. I got ESPN Wide World of Sports, and sports is not my thing. Definitely not. And I mean, when you expect to be working for Disney, you expect that you're going to be in the parks. And so I was very discouraged on that aspect from the get-go. But I tried my best to work through it, but so at the casting building, you find out where you're gonna be. They talk through all the basics with you. They get your banking information. You can either use a bank account that you already have, or you can get a card with them with a bank that's there in Florida. Whichever one you choose to do is fine. And you know, they do the normal screening stuff, the fingerprints and everything. And once you're done there, you're kind of free for the rest of the day. And then I think I had 1 or 2 days of free time before I had my traditions class. And traditions is any cast member goes through traditions, and it just kind of talks about Walt Disney World as a company, and you know what's expected of you, the 4 keys and everything like that. And traditions is where you get your card to get you into the parks, your identification card, and that's where you also get your name badge. It's and it's really special to get your first name badge, because it just kind of makes it more real, because you're actually there working for one of the biggest companies in the world. But so after traditions, usually that night, a lot of the DCP members go to the parks. We went to Epcot and Magic Kingdom the first night, and we watched all the fireworks, because what better way to ring in your new job than to watch Wishes, right? But so after traditions, and after you've had a day or so to play in the parks, you go through training. And training is different for every job. It's different for every workplace. And at ESP and Wide World of Sports, it was mainly just a tour of the area, and then just stuff that they have on the computer, when I worked at Walmart, it was actually somewhat similar. They have basic training modules that you have to take, and all that sort of stuff that you have to go through, and it can take a while. I was actually done pretty early on that day, so I got to go home early that day, but you know, it's just basic stuff that you have with almost any job nowadays. But once you're through training and everything, they actually put you out on the floor. And so then along with your name badge, you also get your Earning My Ears badge, which is very nice, because it lets the customers and the guests at Disney know that you're new and that you're still figuring things out, so they're a little more patient with you, usually. But usually after about 2 to 4 weeks, usually around 2, you're free to take it off. You just kind of take it off whenever you feel like it. But so I took it off, I think, after like 2 weeks of working at ESPN Wide World of Sports. But when I got transferred, I'll get to that a little later. But so Wide World of Sports wasn't exactly what I was hoping it would be. It's very slow. There's not as many customers or guests there as there are at the parks, so it's a lot slower, it's a lot quieter, and it's a lot lonelier. For some reason, they really liked to just stick me by myself there in like one of the far corners of the complex, and I wouldn't get a break for 4.5 hours, which is most of my shift. So that was very disheartening. I think some of the best times I had at ESPN Wide World of Sports was when I was actually at the Orange County Civic Center, and we got to they had some volleyball conference, I think, or something like that was going on, and so we were actually off-site for that, so that was really fun, and it made it go by a lot faster than when we were just sitting there at a boring sports complex with 1 or 2 customers per hour. But once the off-season kind of hit at Wide World of Sports, they moved all of the DCP people to other areas. And I was lucky enough to get moved to the Emporium at Magic Kingdom, which is the first shop when you come in on Main Street. It's right there on the left. And training for that didn't take very long as well, just because I'm probably really fast when it comes to computer stuff. So it didn't take me long to train for that at all. And I got my costume and everything, and I really enjoyed having my trainer. My trainer was really great. I wish I could remember his name, but he was just the absolute sweetest. And I actually ended up taking off my Earning My Ears badge there after about a week, because if you can handle Magic Kingdom at 1 o'clock in the morning when everyone's trying to buy everything and get out, then you can handle the Emporium at any hour of the day. So I fell into that routine very easily, but what I had the most trouble with was respecting my job. That was the first job I had ever had, and I honestly didn't know what to expect. I didn't understand what was expected of me. I called in a lot, and that's never a good thing. You should never call in a lot. I think you're allowed, like, I want to say like 3 call-ins before you lose your first point. And I ended up calling in about 12 times, and I was only there for about 3 months. But, so, I mean, it's like with any job. You want to respect your job. You have to know what's expected of you, but you also have to know what you need to expect. So, if you're thinking about doing the Disney College program, know what you're getting into. It's a lot of long hours. It's sometimes without the breaks that you think you're going to get. And people are not always the greatest. Even though it's the most magical place in the world, people are not always the nicest to you. So you have to just kind of have a thick shell, and you just have to kind of accept that you may not always have the answer that the guests are looking for. But all in all, it's a pretty fulfilling experience. Like, I honestly wish that I had respected it more while I was there, because I honestly wish that I had finished off that program. And part of that, I don't want to say part of it isn't my fault, but I let people get to me. I've kind of touched on this before, but one of my roommates, one of the original 4 roommates, she was not the nicest to me. She stole a stuffed animal that one of the program directors had given to me because I was going through rough times at Wide World of Sports. And so she stole that stuffed animal from me, and it meant a lot because I get ridiculously attached to stuffed animals. And she made a lot of passive comments about me on Facebook, and also while I was in the room, and I just sort of let her get to my head, and I really should have handled it a lot better than I did. And on top of that, I also lost a dog that I was really close with back at home, and I just kind of got in this very bad place, and I thought that pills were going to fix that, and they didn't. And if it hadn't been for 2 of the roommates that I was the closest with, I probably wouldn't be here right now to be talking about my experience. So that's another thing where you have to develop thick skin, because there are always going to be people out there that are going to talk down at you and try to bring you down, and you just have to kind of remind yourself that you're better than that, and remind yourself that you can push through it. But this got a little heavy. I'm really sorry about that. So I'm going to talk about the more fun aspects of the college program. So the thing that everyone likes is that you get free access into the parks. Of course, that's like the best perk ever. But so any of your days off you can go. I highly recommend you do not go on days that you are scheduled to work if you've called in to work, because they have this program computer system thing, and they randomly check to see if you've used your card to get into the parks. And if they find out, you can get written up, and you will get in trouble for it, and you might get a point taken away for it. So always be careful. Never go to the parks on days that you work when you've called in for work. But the parks are fun. The parks are even more fun, making new friends and learning more about your roommates, learning more about yourself. It's a really great experience to meet new people from all over the world. I had friends from Australia, I knew people from England, And then, you know, just different places from all over the United States. So it's really cool to be able to interact and meet people that are your own age, that all obviously have the same love for Disney as you do. So that's really cool. There are different, they have little mixtures and stuff throughout the program. They have dances. They have, at one point they had, German food. It was kind of like Epcot. I don't recall the exact thing. I think the thing was Oktoberfest. And so they had German food, and you could meet Mickey and Minnie, I think, dressed up in German attire, and it was really cool. And they have a lot of stuff, so you feel like you're part of a family. And it's just, overall, the Disney College program is a really good experience if you do it right and if you know what you're getting yourself into. I wish I could say more about how the process ends. I know that, well, first of all, you can take classes while you're working. You have to sign up for them quick, though, because they go quick. Spaces go quick. So I think there are, like, maybe 2 different semesters. I did Fall Advantage, and I think there were, like, 2 different semesters that they had. But you can take classes that count as college credit and all that good stuff. And then towards the end of the year, well, it's the end of the year if you do Fall Advantage or Fall, but they have your graduation, and you get little Mickey ears that have a graduation cap on it, I think. And you get to take pictures with Mickey, which is always cute, and usually you work Christmas or Christmas Eve and or New Year's Eve. So, prepare yourself for that if you're going during the Fall or Fall Advantage program. But, yeah, it's like a job. It's like any other job. It's just, I would recommend it if you know what you're getting into for a job. If it's your first job, just know what you're getting into. Really, that's about all I have to say about the Disney College program. Just know what you're doing, know what you're getting into, and be willing to commit to your decision, because that is the main part that I didn't get and I wish that I had sooner. So, anyways, now that we're done with that whole long video, I'm really sorry. This is probably like 20 minutes long, but yeah, that's my experience. Any questions, comments, concerns for my sanity, leave them down below. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful week. To learn more about the Disney College program or to sign up for email updates about applications, go to DisneyCollegeProgram.com.